Welcome to Parenting Unscripted. I am your host, Katie Collette. A big thank you to Norfolk Public Schools for once again sponsoring this episode. Today, we are going to be talking about the YMCA and how it impacts our community, and there are so many benefits for families. We want to make sure you know about them all. So joining me today is the president and CEO of the YMCA of Southampton Roads, Anthony Walters, as well as Kaylee Baptista, the Youth Development Director of the Blocker Family YMCA in Norfolk. Thank you both so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. I'm so excited because, we were sharing before the show even started. I had a blast at the Y when I was a kid, so I've really been looking forward to this episode. Of course, it is Parenting Unscripted. So, Anthony, why don't we take this opportunity first to share with our viewers a little about your family and your connection to Hampton Roads?
Sure. Again, thank you for having us. It's been great to be a part of this community for a really, really long time. My family and I have enjoyed the 757, if you will, for years. Both my wife and I attended universities here. I went to Norfolk State University. Behold, the green and gold. And then my wife is a Hampton pirate. And so she's born and raised in Hampton, Virginia. And so we have two young men who grew up in this area and went to schools in this area. And they were a part of the Y. From day one, because Dad was a part of the Y, and so they didn't have a choice. This is where they were going to spend their time, both after school, in the summer, and so that's all they know. And I was excited to do that because that's where I grew up. I grew up in the YMCA. So they're Y kids. They loved it. They enjoyed it. And they had no choice.
They had no choice.
But they learned a lot of valuable lessons by being a part of the YMCA. We have great character values, great mentors, great staff people, and great sports engagement opportunities and activities for them to learn who they were throughout the way. So the Y has been extremely valuable to me, both as a staff person, but also as a parent. It gave me an opportunity to get on the field and be close to my young ones after school in sports, but also gave them a safe place to be after school so that I can continue to work.
Right. And that's so much what parents need. You want your children to be safe and to be well taken care of. And you being a child and someone who's grown up through the Y, you can see the passion there. And I love that you've now devoted your life to so much with the YMCA. So we are going to dive more into that in just a moment. And Kaylee, I know that you were just married in March.
I was, yes.
We do love marriage. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
So talk to us about why you have dedicated your time and efforts to being a youth development director and working with children so much.
Yeah, so a big reason for the why I do the work that I do is because I am a product of the Y. And so, I was a Y kid in the before and after school programs with the YMCA of Southampton Roads. My mother worked for the YMCA. So I've just always been around it. I'm very used to it. It's very comfortable. It's a warm and welcoming environment for all. And so I see with myself, but also with the children in the programs, the impact. And so that's a big thing. They get to come and be in a safe and engaging space, where they're building their connections for life, and, just confidence overall. The social and emotional skills that they'll use for, the rest of their lives.
I think that it really speaks volumes when someone has been a part of an organization as a child or, an older teen, and they've decided that they want to come back to that organization and make it even better, possibly than what it was before. So I think that is really incredible to see you both doing that with the YMCA. And I love those elements of your story. I want people, Anthony, we'll start with you on this, to fully understand the Y's role here in Hampton Roads, around the country, but really here in Hampton Roads. So what is your vision and what is the role?
Well, our role in the Y our role in Hampton Roads is to, promote Christian principles through healthy spirit, mind, and body for all. We do that in a multitude of ways. I know when it comes to the Y, people immediately think of our sort of our gyms and
Yes.
our pools. And it's important, and we are happy that you enjoy those things. Our health and wellness is critical and core to keeping our community well.
Right.
But it's so much more than that. It is, as we stated earlier, it's a safe place for young people to go. From a before and after school perspective, while we're at work and while you're at work, young people need a place to continue to be encouraged and strengthened. And so we have great staff people that I like to call mentors. I mean, these are
Yes.
individuals who are not just transactional in what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. They're developing healthy and positive relationships with young people, making sure that not only homework gets done, but it's done accurately, correctly.
Yes.
Communicating with parents about how their day went. They're allowing them to really release some steam and have some fun. That's important to do as well. I think Kaylee said it well. Social emotional learning occurs in a day and age where mental health is core and critical to what's
Yes.
happening. A lot of that stems from, man, I've been kind of cooped up all day and following
Right.
a lot of rules. Well, here's where you get to express yourself as a young person. The opportunity to engage in sports and recreation. We allow those things to occur and happen. Camp activities are happening in out of school time. So when schools are out, the Y is on. And so for one of my most stressful time periods of a year is the 3 months that schools are out, because we then engage thousands and thousands of young people in camps throughout our region. And then we have overnight camps that we do that as well. And so we're proud to serve our community. We serve over 200,000 people. We have
Wow.
27 different YMCAs in Southeast Virginia and Northeast North Carolina. Some like to call it coastal Virginia.
Right.
And so we know that that service to our community is critical as a regional organization. It's important that we're there for our community to make sure that we're wrapping around services when schools are on. We're second in terms of childcare and support of our young people, only to school systems in terms of serving young people.
That's amazing.
Very, very important what
Yeah.
we do. It's a workforce development issue as well. And so without the Y being there to serve households, some people can't get to work because you
Right.
have to stay home to take care of your young person. And so we take a lot of pride in being a healthy place for young people to go to as well.
And you should. On the other side of the break, we're going to really dive into a lot of what you mentioned, Anthony. We're going to talk about the camps. Kaylee, I know that you've got a lot to say
Yes,
about
yes.
the camps. And you mentioned the pools, and I know that you want to make it a safe place. So we will talk about safe swimming. So much to discuss with both Anthony and Kaylee. Thank you for taking the time again. And we will be right back. Stay with us.
Whether you're already working in education or aspiring to, then say yes to NPS. Norfolk Public Schools are currently hiring in the following positions. NPS offers the highest salaries and sign-on bonuses in Hampton Roads, plus a work lifestyle you'll love. Say yes to NPS.
Welcome back to Parenting Unscripted. We are talking about the YMCA of Southampton Roads and everything that it has to offer with families. We have our guests, Anthony Walters. He is the president and CEO of the YMCA of Southampton Roads, as well as Kaylee Baptista, the youth development director of the Blocker Family YMCA in Norfolk. So, before the break, we were talking about all of the opportunities that the YMCA offers, specifically childcare, which is huge. As a parent, we want to make sure that our children are safe and healthy and well taken care of. So, Kaylee, I want to start with you on this. What do the childcare opportunities look like when it comes to, we'll start with after school. What is it like there?
Yeah, so every day is a little bit different, but there's a typical structure and flow of the day, if you will. So the kids will come down from school, all ready to go and hyper for the day, tired from school, just ready to have some fun and some connections. So they'll come down, be greeted by our staff, put their stuff down, grab a healthy snack that's either provided from the school or from us. And then, we'll jump right into it. We'll do some fun, engaging games with them. We do arts and crafts, STEM, outdoor things, play sports. So it's a balance of learning and fun, because we also throw in that academic support as well for homework when needed. So we try to provide a more quiet space for kiddos to go, especially the older ones who have tougher homework, so they have a spot to go and do their homework, and, we lend a helping hand when needed.
I think that it's wonderful too that you have the time, you recognize, listen, these kids were in school all day. So it is time for them to just be free and play.
Be kids, yeah.
Right. And I think though too, as a parent, knowing, especially if you're a parent who has to work a little bit later,
Yes.
you get a little worried about the homework and making sure they can get everything done before dinner and so they can get to bed on time. So what a blessing to have a place that will be able to help with that homework.
Absolutely.
I think that's huge. Do you kind of let the kids feel that out, Kaylee? Do they come in and they're like, I have so much homework, let's just get to it? Or how does that process work?
Yeah, typically they have a choice as to what they want to do. We call it your voice, your choice time. So we have different stations set up, excuse me, and homework zone or homework station is one of those stations. And like I said, it's more off to the side, quieter space where we have more one-on-one help with the homework. But they definitely can decide if they want to do it as soon as they come in. I'm ready to get this done, then I'll play all day.
Yes.
Or if they, want to relax, chill for a little bit and then go to homework. But it's definitely their choice.
Yeah, I think it's good to kind of go off of their vibes and you can really see what they need. That's
Yes.
usually, I think, the best in the end. Anthony, let's talk summer camps. What do you love to see, and what would you love for people to know about the summer camps that are offered from the Y?
Well, summer camps at the Y are also a childcare imperative.
Yes.
You
Oh
know,
my gosh,
imagine
yes.
imagine the summer without camp. And so a true story for me would be that's where I got my career start. It's what I did when I was a young person, and I just can't imagine a world without it. You know, think about all the things that you learn at a camp,
Yeah.
from how to be in a group, how to do things as a team, how to rally and get a spirit stick because you were the loudest and most enthusiastic, and how to champion that all day long, right? And so that it's really important for our community to know that it's available to them, it's accessible to them, and when they're there, they're not sitting around all day. They are active, involved, and we're going to wipe them out. They're going to
Send them
we're gonna
home
wipe 'em out.
tired.
Yeah, we're gonna wipe them out. Right? Our team does a great job. They train. They go through prep for that early in the spring. Early in the spring, they train to ensure that the curriculum is robust throughout the summer for a camp day, teaching them all kinds of things, life skills, just how to work together, inclusion. Camp's one of the very few places that you're going to see the world of people around you. It's diverse, and you're going to see your community, and they're going to come from all walks of life, and so that's our world, and I love that about camp. And so arts and crafts, being able to play together, work together, become more of a team to accomplish big time goals.
Yeah.
And at the end of that week, you'll have memories that last a lifetime. That's the camp that I know. That's the camp that I remember, and it still remains that way.
And I see
today.
Kaylee nodding her head over there. She's like, yes, that is still the camp.
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell us a little about your experience and maybe what a day at camp looks like?
Sure, yeah. So I've been working summer camps now for 7 years, as a counselor for maybe like 4 years, and then as leadership, the last 3. And it's just so cool to see. It's my favorite time of the year. You get to have the kiddos from 6 to 6. We offer camp every day, all day.
Yeah.
So kind of the same with after school. Every day is a little different. Different things are offered on different days throughout that week. But there's still somewhat of a flow and a structure to the day. So, we start off every morning at camp with an opening ceremony. It's a huge thing. They get to really represent their huddle and their, camp. And that's when Anthony talked about the spirit stick or character stick that we give out to each huddle each day, and they get to carry that around and be proud and be happy and build connections within their group, and then they transition into activities, whether that be arts and crafts, like we already said, STEM, sports. We do archery if it's an outdoor camp, like a whole bunch of stuff. And then we end the day with closing ceremony. So it's the same thing. Each week we give out Camper of the Week. And so that's a big thing. And, you know, they really strive all week to earn that. And then just really build connections with the staff as well is a huge thing.
Oh my gosh,
For
to
us at
be a
camp.
kid again.
Yeah.
I'm like, I kind of want to go to camp at the Y now
It's fun
too.
for staff too. Yeah, we have a blast.
I think that that's great too, though, when you have staff members who feel that connection with the kids, because then the kids feel connected to you and they trust you, and it all goes back to being in that safe place where, as a parent, you know your children are well taken care of. When we get back on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about swim safety, and then we're also going to talk about affordability, because I know there are a lot of parents out there who are like, hey, sounds awesome. Times are tough right now. I don't necessarily have the money, but I do know that you take good care of people in the community. So we are going to talk much more about that on the other side of this break. We will be right back. Welcome back to Parenting Unscripted, where we are continuing our conversation about everything the YMCA contributes to our community. It helps in so many ways. I know for me personally, my son was 2 years old when he started swim lessons, and it was at the YMCA in Virginia Beach with Mr. Armando, who was a dream. And my son can swim like a fish now because of Mr. Armando. We're so thankful for him. He was just the greatest. Kaylee, why don't you talk about how the YMCA offers these swim lessons, what parents can expect there?
Yeah, so there's a plethora of opportunities for learning how to swim within the Y. So we offer safety around water, which is a swimming class that we have. We offer, you know, just regular old swim lessons. And then we do swim teams at certain locations. And, you know, even in our camps, it'll be a part of the camp day for kids they get their normal swim time just to have fun and be a kid, but there's also lessons built into the day if parents would like to opt into that, you know, and it's just very important you know, we're in the 757 where, you know, we got water everywhere, you know, and drowning is a leading cause of death, you know, in children. So it's super, super important. And we try to offer as many programs as we can to combat that. And, you know, the kids love it. They have so much fun and they build so much confidence within these programs. You know, they'll start at the beginning of summer camp not knowing how to swim at all. And then by the end of the summer camp, they're swimming around, having a great time on a swim team, you know, so it's just really cool to see that progress.
Yeah, I think that's huge. And I love, too, that I know through our son, he started in group lessons as a 2-year-old, just kind of floating on a little board. And then that's when we got into eventually individual lessons with Mr. Armando. And it was absolutely wonderful. Anthony, I want to talk about the youth sports and also accessibility in our community. Can you share what the Y offers when it comes to youth sports?
I sure can. And I'm happy you really asked about the accessibility. I think I can give you a 2-for-1 there.
Perfect.
Because one, we give over $5.5 million away to our community in financial assistance to make sure that no one is kept away from the YMCA and the programs and services that are provided at the YMCA, specifically in sports and aquatics and our before and after school and camp. I mean, accessibility is absolutely our top priority. And deeply personal to me for probably the reason I'm going to give you right now. As a young person in Wilmington, Delaware, where I grew up, I too grew up in the Y, but I was sneaking in. I mean, I was sneaking in the Y because I didn't think we could afford the YMCA. Humble household. Not really understanding or knowing what my parents could afford. And my mom could attest to this. And, you know, I thought the easiest thing for me to do is to go be safe and not be a part of things that, you know, what they say, idle time is the devil's workshop. And so the only thing I knew was in order to get away from the things that were some things that maybe my friends were doing is to go play basketball in the YMCA. And that sporting activity for me was safe. And so, but I didn't think we could afford that. And so Andre, maybe he wasn't as dreamy as what you described earlier, but he knew I was sneaking into that Y. So the day he caught me, he said, you got a choice. You could either call your mother and tell her you need a membership, or you got to go. One of the two. You've done this long enough. And I'm really happy that guy saved my life, and he created a Y professional. I called my mom. She's really upset with me.
Yeah.
And she said, don't ever assume what's in my pocketbook. That's what they called it.
Yeah, of course. We had pocketbooks.
And
then.
so the membership was $25. She gave me the $25 check for my membership for the month, and she paid $25 ever since. I kept that membership throughout college, and I've never stopped having a Y membership ever since. And in fact, then dedicated my life to being a Y professional. We have free team memberships every summer as a result in the YMCA Southampton Road. So you talk about accessibility, it's deeply personal because that teenager was allowed access into that Y. And so it's really important for us to make sure that no one sees the Y marquees as a place that they can't go instead of a place that they can go. So it's important to us. I have a personal story. Maybe that's the bias that I bring to our Southampton Roads YMCA.
That's a good bias, though.
And so we take it very seriously. We raise money for it. I certainly, with our team, beat the pavement to raise dollars to ensure that that remains the case for the foreseeable future. We write grants to also make sure that that happens. And all of our sports, for me, it provides confidence, inclusion, puts you around a team, gives you those virtues and values. And I know for a fact that my two sons are better men today because they're 19 and 23 respectively. One's a college graduate, one's in college today. One has a great job out of town in Houston, Texas. And they're both good men because of the Y. And they made me a better dad because of that. So we're really excited about what we do there because I think that that's what the Y is supposed to be for our community. Makes you a better coach on the field, in the court, on the courts. So as parents, we need these kinds of activities, and the Y creates that community as a result. So those are just one of the components for us as a Y. But if this show's about parenting, you're talking to a really proud parent because of the Y, but it was because of that story.
I think that's absolutely beautiful. If parents have questions about, hey, can I afford this? Or I might need help in some way to be able to get my child there, who should they contact? What's the best way for them to reach out to get those questions answered?
Well, we have our website is a great outlet for that. YMCASHR.org is a great place. It has all the resources that anyone needs, including our contact number. We have a great call center that will answer your phone call every day, every night as well. And so usually all the resources are on that website. Takes you to our app as well, can get you to that. But our website will have all the information that you need.
Well, Anthony Welters and Kaylee Baptista, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been such a great conversation. And I love when I get to talk to people who are so passionate about amazing things that they're doing in the community. So thank you both for taking the time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. And thank you all for joining us for this episode of Parenting Unscripted. Remember, new episodes of Parenting Unscripted air every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. I hope you have a wonderful day. Be good.